One of the things that PEP8 gives you is a convention for laying out your code. Now it's important to realize that these rules are about readability and clarity of your code, not about following rules. So if you disagree with some of the rules in PEP8, or for some reason you find that in some situation your code is clearer when you break the rules, feel free to do so. Now, to give a high-level overview of PEP8, I'm going to tell you some of the most important rules that are in there. To start, it specifies that we indent our Python code with 4 spaces per level, and that the preferred maximum line length is 79 characters. It also tells us to put 2 lines between top-level functions and classes, and 1 line between methods inside the same class. Then it gives some very detailed pointers about how you should import names from other modules and packages. I will not explain that in detail here, but you may want to read up on it sometime. Now, something else it talks about is how to use spaces in your Python expressions, like when you say x equals 10. Again, I think it's a good idea to read up on this. But in case you don't know the rules exactly, don't worry, most of the time our tool will tell us when we break them. Other important rules in PEP8 are about documentation and naming. The most important rule about documentation is that you should include a docstring for all your public components, from modules, functions to classes and methods. I expect that this doesn't come as a surprise. There's a whole other PEP document, by the way, that describes what should go in a docstring. So PEP8 basically only tells us that there should be documentation, not what should be in there. Then it has a lot to say about naming. Again, there's a lot of detailed rules, but the main ones are: modules should have lowercase names and they should be short. Classes have capitalized names without underscores. Functions and methods should have lowercase names with underscores between the words. Constants should be in all caps, and any names not intended for public use should start with an underscore. Again, I expect that none of these rules are really new to you. The nice thing is, if they are new to you or when you make a mistake, there's a tool to check it. And then PEP8 goes into a list of general programming recommendations. This includes things like how to compare a value to none, or from which base class an exception should inherit, etc. etc. It contains a lot of little gems that are not just about style, but about writing code that is less error prone and more readable. And again, I can't say this enough, I urge you to take a little time to look at PEP8. But for now I'm going to leave all the theory behind and take a look at how to apply this in practice.